1, 2, 3. Ooh, you know what that sounded like?
What?
The Nintendo sound.
Oh, the little click.
Yeah.
Nintendo Switch. Oh my god.
You know.
Oh, that might have been what it was then.
Oh, that makes sense. They probably paid someone.
Yeah, to professionally click for the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, maybe. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Parallel Lens.
Welcome.
My name is Tony.
Aren't you a little too far?
I think
you might have to. I think you're gonna have to hold it a little bit.
Really?
Yeah, I think that's too far actually.
This is a little bit better for y'all.
You're gonna have to get like. All right, 3, 2, 1.
I thought you were starting.
Hi guys,
Should
welcome
we restart
to.
again?
Yes. Hi guys, welcome to.
Parallel Lens. My name is Tony.
Oh, okay, you're going first. I'm Elise.
Can you please stop taking my thunder? Please.
Yes, I'm Elise, and welcome to again
Parallel Lens.
Parallel Lens.
Episode 1, Lens 1.
Lens 1.
So,
Do you want to talk a bit more about why, what we're doing here?
Yeah, I think maybe we could start with intros first. So,
Yes.
My name is Tony. I'm from New York, just moved to New Jersey. You know, I think I've been in the corporate world for about 10 years now. I come from a lot of experiences, not a lot of knowledge, and I'm the typical millennial, Asian American millennial, and that is going to be really important as we continue with more episodes here. But for now, I think I'll let my partner introduce herself.
Yes, I'm Elise.
All right, that's enough. So, as I was saying,
You're stealing my thunder now. It's Elise's turn, okay? All right. I'm also from Jersey. Now
I said I'm from New York.
Oh, sorry. I'm from. I was born and raised in Philly.
Why are you doxing yourself?
I'm not doxing myself because now I'm in Jersey.
So you just doxed yourself?
Yeah. Oh, okay. I guess so. I'm in Jersey City now. No, JK. So I am now. I was a recent grad. Now 1 year officially. In the corporate world. So as you can see, a very stark difference in our experience. There's this very visible and mental gap between us. So
You're saying I'm dumb?
No.
You calling me dumb?
I'm calling you a very wise individual. And
I'm very dumb.
No. I think since we share a lot of the same hobbies, we wanted to kind of get together, but also share our own lens on these topics as well. So that's why
our experiences, our point of views, our different lens, like Elise said, our different lens on, similar topics, it could range from, political, how we view the politics in the world, not just the world, but also in the US too.
That's right.
How we view certain pop culture topics like Asian representation, since we are both Asian Americans, but we both grew up, and I would say in different views or different experiences as Asian Americans, since I'm part of the older generation, you're part of the relatively newer generation.
Yeah.
So I think we
More
have
or
different
less.
perspectives there.
That's right.
I mean, we're 12 years apart.
Yeah.
Don't dox yourself.
Am I going to count?
Yeah, you're going to count?
Am I going to count? I'm not going to dox my age, but we're 7 years apart. We're not 12. But it's closer to the decade difference, right? So I think we can bring very interesting, unique perspectives on these the concepts that you just spoke about. So
Yeah, that's true.
if you want to hear more about our takes on different items and watching us argue and roast each other, please stay tuned and continue watching Parallel Lens, the podcast. That's our plug.
There's going to be a lot of roasting. And also as a plug, if companies want to sponsor us, we're very much open. I will do everything and anything, but
Tony
stuff might
will
be
do
included.
That doesn't include me, by the way.
It could.
I'd be more than happy
It could.
to be here and watch. If anything, I'd be his supporter. But anyway, we
I
digress.
think that's what OnlyFans is.
What? Sorry. There was a little disturbance in
the force.
in the force. I don't know, random universe force. But yeah, how did we meet?
Yeah, so I think I've always liked badminton. Badminton was always something that, I resonated with, not because I'm Asian, but because that's one of the few sports that my dad had taught me when I was younger. And, you know, when I was younger, there really wasn't that many opportunities to play badminton at school or at clubs, at least in my area in New York. Instead, you know, my first time playing on a team or getting experience on playing on a team was actually just being a manager for the girls badminton team.
Oh, girls badminton team.
Yeah, there wasn't a boys badminton team in my school, not just my school district, but my area. So there wasn't enough for like, you know, schools to hold tournaments against each other, nothing to hold anything official. So I was just a manager of the girls badminton team, and you know, I would play badminton with them, help them train, etc. And then in college, I would continue that every now and then with a few of my friends. Yeah. And so that's why my friends and I decided to like hit up the local badminton club in New Jersey. And that's where we met you and your friends, Elise.
That's right, Tony. In Jersey, we met each other at the badminton club.
Don't dox yourself.
And I went that day with my two other hooligan friends. We were a trio at badminton before we met Tony and his friends. And that day I remember going in like, oh, we're not going to get a court. We're going to get casted to the side. We weren't professionals. We were just like recreational players. And if you didn't have a club badminton shirt, you probably weren't one of the pros. So they would be like...
I would say they were very intense. All the people there like to pretend that they're from the Olympic team when they're not actually part of or anywhere close to the Olympic team. Yeah. But they like to think that they are. And so a lot of them feel very... self-entitled.
Yeah, to the courts too.
To the courts.
And they don't play by the rules.
Yeah, where they don't let you
do you then.
in to play. And even if you play by the rules of the club, where like, you know, you play around, you play 2 matches, you get off. And if there's no one lined up, you could continue playing more matches. Right. But these people, more entitled people will normally just come in and kick you out. Right. But when it's their turn to do that, they'll just lie and be like, oh yeah, it's our first game, when it's clearly their third or fourth game.
And the way, or at least from what I've noticed, is like the rules don't apply to them until it's for their favor. Yeah. So like, okay, yeah, what is this your second set? Is it your second set? And we're like, well, no one queued up. And the rule is, if no one's queuing up, I mean, why do we
why bother?
Right? Because like no one's in line for anything. So, and it doesn't look like there's a crowd waiting either. So we would just keep playing. But they would come to the court and like pick us out of the whole, like every other group that is playing, and be like, hey, when are you finished? When are you finished? Because we don't look, and like, I guess they don't deem us like people who take the sport seriously. But we very much do. We paid an entry fee, and we had gotten there. So, but my friends and I did go in thinking we wouldn't get a course. We were just trying to like our best to find some nice individuals. Tony and his friends were one of them. So we played doubles with you. And you were very nice and gracious enough in sharing the court with us. And then from there on, I think after our first game, I went up to you guys and I asked about their major. Because I thought they were recent grads.
And that's fair, right? Because with you and your friends being like recent grads or like on your way to graduating, you guys probably thought like, oh yeah, they're probably around our age group. Yeah. In like the early 20s. Right. But in actuality, like we were much older. We've like worked in the corporate world for like years at that point.
I remember, I think one of yours was like, no, we graduated like, I don't remember. It was like 5 years ago.
6 years ago.
Like, oh, no worries. I mean, I personally thought you guys didn't look that much older.
Yeah. So. Well, this is where the two parallel lens come in, right? Because I thought you guys were our age too. And then when you guys said like
mid to late 20s.
Yeah, like mid 20s. To late 20s. Because again, you know, it's we think of it in perspective of our age, right? Yeah. So I think, you know, we thought you guys were older. You guys said, oh no, we're much younger. I'm like, oh crap. You guys aren't minors, right? Because the last thing I want to do is like make friends with minors, because God forbid.
Oh my God. Yeah, that'd be an absolute nightmare.
Yeah, that would be very bad.
I feel like it's even harder to manage that too. Because like, okay, cool. Would you? Okay, here's a question. If we were minors, would you have continued?
No.
Oh, no. You would have stopped immediately. Okay.
No. I mean,
honestly,
okay.
that's respect.
Okay,
respect.
great. Nice meeting you.
Yeah. I
Never
respect
talk
that.
to you again.
For real. For real. I love that. But no, we were way past college. We were all college graduates. So I think, I mean, that was like last year. It's been, we already have our like first year friendship anniversary. So it's been a good year, guys.
I feel like it's 2 years.
Well, I think it's like, it's a little bit, it's past.
It's like a little bit past.
I remember meeting them in November of 2020 something, because we're not talking.
I feel like it's 2020.
2024.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, no. It was 2023.
Was
It was
it?
2023 leading into 2024. November 2024 just passed. So we're a little bit over a year. But yeah, I kept the timeline because I was remembering I was job hunting. I still hadn't started my job at that point. So I just had reached my first year.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Because you were about to start, because by the time we met you, it was like fall, October, November time frame. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then you were like just like chilling before your work actually started.
My work doesn't start until February of next year.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay. So you're just kind of like idling by.
Yeah, you're just like chilling.
That's why I'm at the badminton club with my
You're
friends.
at badminton club, and like what, you were going to the hobby store and like playing Pokemon cards too.
That was a bit later. That was like summer to following.
Yeah.
And anyway, speaking of hobby store,
But that's how we like found a common interest. Mm-hmm. Or another common interest outside of badminton.
Yes.
Because, at least for me, I was part of the first generation. Right? The first generation of Pokemon. I'm a 90s kid. First generation, growing up in the 90s, Pokemon was the biggest thing. That's when Pokemon came out with the game, the anime, the trading cards.
That's right.
So, I grew up with it. I was part of the big craze. The initial craze, because I feel like the Pokemon craze has gone through like multiple waves.
Oh yeah, like different phases.
Yeah, but I was definitely part of the first wave with like the OG, like Charmander, Squirtle, Pikachu, Bulbasaur, Pokemon Red and Blue.
Yeah.
And Yellow. Never played Yellow, but at least Red. But yeah, that's and so Pokemon was always like the biggest part of my life. Mm-hmm. And when I heard like, oh, you like Pokemon too? Yeah. Like I remember asking like, oh, what was your first starter? Because that's always like the hardest choice for a kid was like, what's your first starter?
Right. Well, my first starter in the video game was Piplup. And
so you were Gen 4.
I was a Gen 4, yeah.
I see.
So Gen 1 being Charmander, Squirtle, Bulbasaur. Second gen being
Cyndaquil, Totodile, Chikorita.
That's right.
Third generation was Torchic, Trico, and Mudkip.
Oh my god.
Mudkip was everyone's favorite.
I feel like I've never played that one. That's how you know.
You gotta play it.
Yeah.
You gotta play it.
Yeah. The funny thing is, I remember going to GameStop and my brother buying the red and like blue, or was it Sapphire? I think it was Sapphire for his Game Boy, but I didn't play it. So I remember going with him there and then seeing that, but like I didn't get into the video game until much later, like when I got the Nintendo DS.
Okay.
Right, and so Diamond and Pearl being my first like Nintendo DS Pokemon game.
Yeah.
And then after that, Platinum. So I was Dialga, so I got Diamond, and then I went into Platinum. That was Giratina.
Everyone liked Platinum better. Platinum was a more perfect third generation game. Damn, you a cheater.
No, there was, so on YouTube during the time they had like a little like a bike cycling glitch so that you can get access to Giratina. It was weird, but you had to glitch out of the game, get into like the black void, and then like
death, hell.
Literally just like a black screen, and then you would cycle your way to the house where you can get Giratina. It was like a hack to get to him.
I've never done any of the hacks. I know there are always like in the games, there's always like different like hacks and glitches that will get you stuff. Yeah. But I've never done them. Oh. Or I've never experienced any glitches.
I was way into it.
Oh, you know what? The only glitch that I ever used was in the original games, there was a way for you to essentially duplicate your
Pokemon?
items.
Oh,
Not Pokemon.
now I'm thinking
But
Pokemon.
you could duplicate your items, like a Master Ball.
shoot.
Instead of getting
my
one
God,
Master Ball, you could get like 99 Master Ball.
Wow. I would have liked that.
That was I think the first generation game was the only time that happened, and then afterwards they like fixed it up.
Oh, I see. So now like they can fix bugs, because at that time I don't think they had like live updates.
No, that's not a thing.
It's like
that was not
whatever came with the game just came with the game.
Yeah, but like every generation, every game, they like made changes to it, right? To update it and make it like a little bit better. I mean, second generation came with like day and night cycles, right? And you could play as a female character. That was the first time you could play as a female character in the Pokemon game.
That's right.
And that's been a staple ever since.
Right. Oh, yeah.
And it's also like, inclusivity, right? To include female, little girls. I want to play Pokemon. I want to get into playing Pokemon too. Yeah.
I was also into the trading card game before that. But yeah, in terms of starter, I started Gen 4.
Okay.
When did you get into? So you got into the game. You were Gen 1, like OG.
Yeah.
Peak of Pokemon. And have you played it like throughout? So when was that for you? Was that
was
like
when
middle
I was
school?
like elementary school, girl.
Elementary. Oh, damn.
Yeah, that was when I was elementary. Like I said, I grew up with it.
Yeah.
And then I kept playing. I played Gen 2, Gen 3, Gen 4. And I think Gen 5 is when I stopped, because then I just had an emulator to play it.
Oh, okay. And Gen 5 being black and white? Or was that Heart Gold Soul Silver?
No, that was black and white and Heart Gold Soul Silver.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just used emulators for those.
Yeah.
But then after that, I just stopped, because then it was just like on the 3DS.
Oh, and you didn't have one.
I didn't have a 3DS, and it was very hard to emulate, because I think Nintendo caught on.
Oh, I see.
To all the emulators.
I can't believe it.
So they made the code for the 3DS very difficult to like crack and get it right. And so no one really had a working 3DS emulator.
Yeah, at the time.
Like there are now.
Yeah, I remember doing what is that run where like if your Pokemon dies, you Nuzlocke. Yeah, I was doing a black and white Nuzlocke.
Nice.
But I stopped very shortly.
I couldn't get into Nuzlocks.
Yeah, I didn't last. It was just not. It didn't give me. I like to play it leisurely, you know?
Yeah.
I was a girl's girl, like going in there.
For fun.
Training my only one starter Pokemon to 100, everyone else being hello.
I've never had a starter go up to 100 except in the recent games. I just don't grind. I'm not a grindy type of guy.
Yeah.
So I just play the game casually, and then once I like beat the Pokemon League and most of the post game, I stop. I like lose interest. I don't think I've ever completed Pokédex.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. I didn't ever either, actually.
It's just too much.
And I don't think DLCs were a thing until way later, like Scarlet Violet.
No. Sword and Shield.
Yeah, Sword and Shield. That's right. Cool. Yeah, so I remember, I think, asking you, like, oh, what games you like playing? And you're like, saying
Pokemon,
like
Zelda, Mario.
Yeah.
But more Pokemon was the thing that like got us close together.
I was like, Pokemon. I played that recently too. I'm actually into the Pokemon card game.
And you got me back into the Pokemon card game too.
Well, apparently I did, but I thought you were into it way before.
No. You got me back into it. And that's why I started like opening packs again. And I started with like Obsidian Flames.
I like kickstarted the addiction.
Yeah, it scratched that gambling part of my brain. I was like, ooh, I like this feeling.
Yeah. So let's say, so Obsidian Flames, did you just want to get back into it?
I just wanted to get back to it, like mostly for the nostalgia, since I remember as a kid, I liked the Pokemon. Like I said, growing up playing Pokemon, loving Pokemon. So Pokemon cards are always like something I liked, but I wasn't like playing the game seriously. Yeah. I was like just collecting, and then, but I had one friend that like had all like the really good cards. He had multiple decks, and so we would just play with his decks.
I see. So he brought it to school, and you guys were just like, all right, let's battle each other.
Yeah, but like playing those, and this could be like a different lens, but like, Yu-Gi-Oh! I was more into playing Yu-Gi-Oh! cards.
Oh, Yu-Gi-Oh! was a big thing.
Yeah.
Back then.
Yu-Gi-Oh! was big too. I remember being banned. Like in school. Yeah, you couldn't bring Yu-Gi-Oh! cards and Pokemon cards to school because kids would steal them.
Wait, from each other?
Yeah.
Honestly, I think yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
That was a thing.
Dang, that's crazy.
But that could be a different topic. Parallel lens.
Oh, we can talk about that. Like elementary for you and elementary for me. Yeah. Mine was chaotic, and it gets worse. I think with the alphas.
Yeah,
is that what they call it? The eyes.
The Gen Alphas.
The Gen Alphas. Yeah.
There's a different generation now too.
The ones that are born like today.
Yeah.
I don't even want to go there. Anyway, so yeah, long story long, we got back into Pokemon, myself included, because like in high school, I just like didn't think it was a cool thing to talk about. Like I liked it, but I think I played like trading card game online with some friends, but I wasn't buying the cards again. One, I couldn't afford it. I didn't have money to be spending like that. And then two, like I was, going through like peak high school times where like you have a lot more underlying issues outside of just playing with video games and stuff. So
yeah,
I was figuring that out. But then post college, after I got my career, kind of situated.
So a couple of years ago.
A couple of years ago, Obsidian Flames was also the one that kind of got me back into it. And I think it was just very random. Like I was at Target and I was like, ooh, let me buy a pack for funsies.
See what happens.
Yeah, and see what happens.
And then you got a good card and you're like, ooh, I like this feeling.
Literally got it.
Let me try this again.
Wasn't like a what's it called? It's not an SIR. It's not a special illustration rare card. It was an EX card. And I was like flipping my buns. Like I was like, oh my God, that's crazy.
Look, that's how it gets you.
And then it got me more. I'm like, well, I might as well buy the booster box. I bought the whole booster box. I'm literally in the living room unboxing it with my friend and sister.
Hell yeah.
And then from there on, yeah, I remember pulling like the gold Charizard, like the Charizard I think you were looking for at one point.
Yeah.
And then I remember we were like, let's show each other our collections. He pulled out his whole binder. He's like, I'm missing this card. I'm like, oh my God, I have that.
And then we started trading.
And so I brought my whole collection over and we started trading there.
That was cool. That was fun.
That was a fun time.
I wish we could do it again.
I wish. Not in this economy right now. It's just not. If you know what's happening.
Yeah, it's just not fun right now.
No.
I think that's the best way to say it because of all like the scalpers, and it's kind of like out of nowhere too. I think it started like in November with that whole Pikachu set.
I think it's the chase of it, the gambling aspect.
It's a chase and gambling, and then like I don't know. I feel like this is just another wave of like excitement for the Pokemon cards, or TCG trading, which is a trading card
blind
game.
boxes, but Pokemon now.
Yeah,
and people online, not only within like, I mean, you could be a scalper and you can be profiting. Like that's a whole nother realm. But I think even like people who have reached out to me recently and they're like, oh my God, Sandy, aren't you into Pokemon? Where can I get this? I'm like, where is this coming from? And it's like coming from TikTok. Because like they have lives of people opening packs and it's like, oh my God, you hit this and this stuff. Like there's a lot of adrenaline that goes into these things.
I get it. I mean, there's a lot of YouTubers and like Instagrammers, TikTokers, live streamers that are like doing Pokemon and stuff. And maybe that's also contributing to like all the scalping that's happening. Because like people are like trying to like sell boxes. And like you and I even talked about this earlier today. Some scalpers are like going to those vending machines.
Oh my gosh.
And just standing there while like the vending machines are getting restocked.
Right.
And then they just buy out the entire machines while like true fans like you and I are just trying to enjoy the hobby.
Right. And
like,
and typical
can't get any
like
at market price.
Casual like again recreationally enjoys our Pokemon, you would buy like one or two boxes. Maybe one for each person. Yeah. Right? And Tony can explain. I was about to say something else. There was a time when he went to Costco and he called me up and he was like, Sandy, guess.
No! You fucked up. All right. Ooh, I fucked up too. I said a bad word. Anyways,
we'll beep it off.
So what you guys just witnessed is Elise using her real name.
God damn it. Every time.
And that's one of the themes for this podcast. Honestly, I'm surprised you lasted this long without saying it.
I've been holding my tongue.
Yeah, we've been so one of the games that we're going to be playing is essentially each lens we're each going to take up a different persona, a different name, a different name. All of our experiences are going to and takes are ourselves, but we're just going to take up different names. We'll set up a different location every episode.
Right.
But the first person that gets it wrong, like makes a mistake or uses their real name or real location or even real time of filming.
Yeah.
Like we'll get a point, and the person that gets it's golf rules. So the person with the most points loses.
Yeah.
And You're at 1 point, girl.
I'm 1 point down. All right. Well,
eventually we'll come up with punishments, but
I'm thinking like it could be like wear something for the next one.
Okay.
Or it could be like something dumb. Like we can either wear a prop or like
something spicy.
Yeah, something spicy. Oh,
See,
God.
Elise has a very bad spice tolerance. I do too, but hers is worse than mine. So we could do like hot peppers, man, and really hurt ourselves the next day.
Yeah, we don't encourage violence and hurting people
unless it's for the fun and enjoyment of others.
I'm gonna place a real disclaimer in the video.
Yeah, we do not put a disclaimer right here. We do not support violence of any sense. If you are in need of help, call 911.
Yes, please. We'll put the helpline here. Yeah. Anyway, back to the scalping. I've seen videos right now of people just standing in front of these vending machines. And by the way, these vending machines, I didn't know they were a thing.
They're new. They're new to the U.S.
And I looked the closest one. I was like maybe checking if they had anyone near us, but they're all in like, I think I saw one like in Maryland.
They're mostly in the South right now. It's in very like weird. It's very weird locations because you expect them like New York, but they're not really in New York either.
They're like placed in. I don't even know what stores are placed in, but I've seen a lot of videos of people like calling these scalpers out. And what's funnier is it's so slow. Like the vending machine is so slow in dispensing each one because the expectations is they're buying one or two, right? And it'll be like one down, two down. They're like loading it one by one. But these scalpers are buying a crap ton at once. Yeah. So they're like having to stand there and waiting for their bulk purchase. And people are just watching them, filming them like waiting.
It's absolutely disgusting what these scalpers are doing to the hobby. And for all of you that don't like understand the concern is that let's say one small box of let's say 6 packs normally at retail price like 30, is right? like $26 to $30.
Right. That's
that, right. And I'm talking retail like like Target, Walmart, like those like normal places.
Yeah.
And GameStop. But for scalpers, the people who are buying this
how much are they selling them for?
Retail price, they're trying to sell it for like $100.
$100
for like 6 packs, or $60 for 3 packs for 6 packs. Either way,
$100.
Either way, it's
insane.
It's just ridiculous prices, and it's just and you've seen the videos of like the people fighting in Costco, like literally, like these are grown ass adults fighting each other and punching each other, to get like cardboard.
Would you say more grown people are doing that right now?
Yeah,
compared to like people,
kids.
Yeah.
Like
I think kids don't understand. They're just like, okay,
the kids are trying to like get into the hobby like too, and like trying to have fun.
Yeah.
And some of these adults are parents that are trying to get it for their kids
that's
too.
Right.
Like some of these are like parents trying to get it for their kids. Some of these folks are like actual collectors or people that are like playing the actual trading card game to get into tournaments because that's their their hobby or livelihood.
Yeah.
And then there's these scalpers. These scalpers are the ones that are buying like 20, 30 at a time, a whole pallet at a time, and literally leaving nothing for everyone else.
Exactly.
And it's like, and then they're like, oh yeah, you could buy it from me for $120.
My God.
And it's just like, dude, why are you like this? Yeah. Like, go away.
I feel like at this point, I don't know. Would you say the Pokemon company should? I don't think they care enough to like make a statement about this or put some. I think they understand that there are scalpers out there and that eventually this is going to like kill the hobby or kill their product.
So they're trying to just produce more and like just fill the market.
Flood it with more,
flood the market and like really like make the prices go down.
I guess so.
But honestly, like at the end of the day, Pokemon is a company.
Yeah.
They're going to, then they just want to make money. But that doesn't mean that they can't sponsor us.
And yes,
we will do a good job. I promise.
Well, I mean, Pokemon in itself was a part of both of our childhood. And I think it also helped that for you, maybe like an escape by chance, like perchance, I think we've talked about this before, where like during your college years, that was a game that you went back to a lot of times. So like
in college, whenever I'm feeling like overly stressed or I just need a day to myself, I'm just put on the emulator on my laptop.
Yeah.
I'll buy my favorite food and just lock myself in my dorm room or in my room and just play it.
I'm
watch
imagining
movies.
Tony right now in his room. Like, was it like lights off and everything?
No, I have my lights on, or at least windows,
know.
like shades
Also,
up.
it was more like a nice casual. Like,
yeah, I'm casual. I'm just
quality
relaxing.
time.
I'm just enjoying myself. I have my
love it.
Starbucks coffee.
Oh yeah.
I have popcorn. I have snacks.
That's cool.
My instant ramen.
That's quite healing. I feel like, yeah. I
Yeah.
don't know. Yeah.
Everyone needs
was comfy.
a mental health day.
A mental health day is important.
No
guys.
matter what.
Give yourself some
Whether
grace.
you're an adult,
Enjoy
in
Pokemon
college,
right,
or
maybe not
whatever.
right now. Yeah. Sorry, I was just talking while you were talking. My bad. My apologies.
Such a Gen Z.
I need to respect my elders.
I hate you.
Please go. Passing the baton to you. Oh, speaking of baton. Sorry. Segue. Did you see that video
Which video?
of the girl running and she was like, "Ka!" Whacked the other girl in the head.
Oh,
track.
shit. I did not see
She had
that.
like a fracture.
A fracture?
Yeah, her skull, like, I think got a fracture.
That's not okay.
Yeah. And it was like caught on film. Like, she could have very much so, like, not hit the girl in the head.
That's very unsportsmanlike.
Yeah.
And I feel like that person should go to jail or get charged.
She probably got, I think she got, like, banned or, like, kicked off.
I feel like banned is, like, way too light. I'm sorry, but I'm more into, like, very harsh punishments.
Oh, really?
Especially when you're young, right? You're like,
so.
how old were these people?
I mean, it looked like she might have been in her, like, early 20s.
Oh, yeah. She should definitely be punished more.
Yeah.
She definitely didn't, like, learn
I think her whole track career might be online now. That it might have been
over.
like, yeah. I mean, if you are
over.
intentionally hurting someone,
That's okay.
that's not good. Please don't do that. Anyway, back to Pokemon. I played Pokemon the trading card game. I think with Obsidian Flames, and then we got into 151. That was the big thing. 151. All the people within from.
Well, that's because it's all the original 151 Pokemon.
Yeah.
So like people that are like my age, you know, us man-childs with like adult money, can like
for real
relive our childhood when things were simpler.
Yeah.
Simpler. You didn't have to think about like, oh shit, am I going to like
asking my mom for money at Toys R Us, like, can I get this blister pack?
Yeah.
And this tin? And now we don't have to do that. It's like,
nope.
Okay. I have my own free will and my own assets to spend now.
We have our assets. We can enjoy hobbies.
Right.
Except now with all the scalpers, again, going back to that.
Again, it's just not, I don't think it's just ethical.
The hobby is just not sustainable right now.
Yeah.
And something needs to change. Unfortunately,
So
money
Yu-Gi-Oh.
speaks. But yeah, maybe we go to Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Lorcana.
Lorcana. Yeah, I've always seen it. You know, it's always available, and when I go to Target, it's always the last one there.
maybe
So
we make a little shift and we talk about it in a separate lens.
Yeah, separate lens.
Thank you everyone for joining our first episode and our first lens.
Yep.
See you guys next time in the next video. Like, share, subscribe. Do people still do that?
Yep, they do still do that. So you can find us on Spotify and on YouTube. We have a video version, but we also have an audio portion, so feel free to listen on your own time. But do expect a lot more episodes to come out, because this is not our only lens. We have many different lenses coming, so stay tuned. And thank you again, Tony, for being here with me and sharing this wonderful project. All right, guys, we'll see you in the next one.
We'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.